Hey, I know we're running a little late on Brunch with Brian, but we're here today. So hopefully you're still hanging out and with us on Brunch with Brian. Yeah, what a big night last night for our Phoenix Suns. That was very cool. I don't know if you're a basketball fan at all, but when we were actually like the worst last year. We went from being one of the worst teams with the worst records to now going to the finals as of last night. So I don't know if you're a sports fan or not, but or a basketball fan or not, but I'm a big basketball fan, as you can see with the Suns. I used to follow them way back when Charles Barkley was taking us to the finals, and we haven't been there since 1993 and never won, so it sure would be great. And Chris Paul is a really great story around all this. Guys, I have a couple of things to talk to you about today, and I wanted to talk to you about what if we lost? What if we go to the playoffs? What if we go to the finals and lose? It's going to be hard. And so there's tough things that you deal with in your life, and there's disappointments. And there's three ways to deal with them. And there's one that's the most positive. And so a lot of times, let's say, I'm going to use the example of, let's say you're walking along on a busy street and you trip on the sidewalk and kind of stumble, okay? And so now there's three different reactions you can have, okay? You can kind of feel like embarrassed and sad and, oh, I did, and it kind of embarrassed, like, and then there's another reaction where you kind of get mad and you say, whoa, what the heck? What is that crack there for? You're looking at the crack, daggone it, why don't they fix these streets? So it's either kind of sad over your loss or what went wrong, or you're mad, you get mad. Now, guys use anger a lot. Instead of crying, they just get mad because it makes you feel more powerful for sure than just, skulking away sadly. Getting mad gives you some kind of agency, gives you some kind of power in the situation. So, while I really tend to not like anger, sometimes anger is a better reaction than just kind of feeling bad and sorry for yourself. Okay, so I like to call that first one like woe is me. That's your woe is me role, okay? And that's when you're sitting around feeling sorry for yourself. Something went wrong, you feel bad, and you just sort of dwell in sorrow, okay? And self-pity. And we all play this game once in a while, woe is me, okay? And that's, just try to notice when you're playing this game and when you're complaining about something. Remember those 3 C's, and I like to play those in here. The 3 C's to always avoid are, as much as you can, you're never going to do a perfect job on this, but as much as you can to avoid complaining, criticizing, and comparing. Those 3 C's. And they kind of play into those 3 reactions you could have when something goes wrong. So if something goes wrong, if you feel sorry for yourself and, oh, woe is me, you're complaining. You're complaining. So if you get mad, oh, darn it, I wish I wouldn't have gone wrong. Oh, who's at fault? Everybody's to blame. And sometimes you take the blame on yourself. Actually, that's more the woe is me when you're taking all the blame on yourself. When you're turning it outward, that's more of the anger response. So if you get mad when things don't go right, and that's sort of like criticizing. So complaining, criticizing, the other one was comparing. So what's the third thing when things go wrong? Well, if you're comparing, you're going, oh, everybody must be tripping. Oh, I didn't trip. I'm not the only one who ever tripped there, and so you start comparing yourself to try to justify something that went wrong. That's also not the best choice. So it's kind of funny, but if you trip, what is the most adult reaction if you tripped on the street and kind of were embarrassed? It's to laugh. Okay, and that's the most adult reaction, is to be able to laugh at yourself and just laugh at the fact that you're human and that you have foibles and you can trip on a little crack in the street and kind of chuckle about, oh, wasn't that kind of an unexpected little mishap? But no harm, no foul, but just kind of have a light approach to it. Now, if it's something you really, really care about, like if you're in the middle of a real estate deal, and that deal goes south, okay? And you really had high hopes. what are the 3 reactions? Okay, you can, woe is me, oh, self-pity, things are terrible, this is impossible, I'm no good, you know, and really go into it. So that's definitely a weak response and not how we want you to respond. Another thing, if a deal goes wrong, oh, who did that? Why was that go wrong? Why did that person do that? Why did those sellers say that? Why did this person do that? Whoa, grr, why didn't everything go perfectly? Okay, and you know, here's the thing about anger, and I can't totally, even though I have struggles with anger, it can be a useful emotion because it can turn you around and make you take action. And that's the thing. See, if you do the woe is me after you lose a deal, there's, you know, what are you going to get? Nothing. You're just going to get tears, you know, tears in your pillow. Okay, so that's no good. So don't play that woe is me game. What I really want you to do is kind of laugh. It's really hard to laugh when you lose a deal sometimes. But if you can have an accepting attitude, see, that's the thing. When you laugh about something that goes wrong, it's sort of like you're accepting that you're not perfect and that the world isn't a perfect place and things don't always go right. Now a little kid would stamp their feet and say, I want my way, I want my way. It should have gone this way. And maybe they'd either start crying, woe is me, or they'd start stomping their feet and I want. So the more adult thing is, if you don't get something you want, kind of chuckle about it. But now here's what I really want you to do. And if there's anger there too, is you got to look at what you can do better next time. How to keep this from happening next time. So that's really the best outcome. Now, if your natural inclination is to start with the woe is me, you know, or to start with the anger, you know, when things don't go right, it makes me so mad, you know, so those are natural tendencies and you know, you can rebel against those as much as you can and try to be more positive and put a smile on your face. That's the challenge. If something goes wrong, try to smile about it and look at the positives of it and look at the upside and laugh about it. Now, if you can laugh about it, that shows that you have the emotional distance on that disappointment, and it gives you that emotional distance, and it makes it's not like a life-threatening thing. It's something that happened, and you kind of get that emotional distance, and you're not like living and dying on it. So that's the best approach, and that's really a form of acceptance. So you're accepting whatever went wrong, but then the next step, and this is the most important step, is to take action. So make a plan, so laugh about it, accept the disappointment, okay? Now remember, disappointments are okay, write this down. Disappointment is okay, because you're gonna be disappointed at times in life. Discouragement, that's not okay, so don't let yourself get discouraged. You can get disappointed, but not discouraged. So I won't allow the discouragement. Now, if you do get disappointed, like I said, you might get sad, you might get mad, and you might laugh about it, okay? What's the most mature response? Laughing about it, because it shows you accept it. However, accepting doesn't mean you're complacent about it. Every one of those steps, whether you're sad, whether you're mad, or whether you're accepting, always leads to an action step. What can I do better? What's on my action steps? How could I do better on that one? Fortunately, that's been my mindset for the last 18 years of doing real estate investing. So every time something went wrong and I was disappointed and crushed about something, I would create a form. It's funny, it makes me laugh because that's my MO, my modus operandi. I would create some form that would fix that problem in the future. Like if we had, and this is an important form for you, the seller congratulations letter. It's in your what to say and what to do forms on our member website. So once you get that, you give that to the seller at the close when you're at their house doing the deal meeting, or if you're doing a virtual deal meeting, you make sure to send it to them right after. That helps deals stick. Because guess what? We lost a couple of deals. They didn't stick after we signed the purchase and sale. They still flaked out on us. Okay, so I tried to think, what's every way I can make this deal stick? And one of the things was the seller congratulations letter. So you guys can benefit from all the times I was sad and mad. And it took me a while to accept it. So get to that acceptance faster. That's the thing. Even if your natural thing is to be sad and cry about it, or be mad and stomp your feet about it, get as fast as you can, get to the laughing about it, you know, chuckling over it. Well, I guess that's life. You know, life ain't perfect. and get to that point. A little bit of philosophical. However, that doesn't mean accepting it like that's my state in life. It's accepting it for the moment and figuring out how to do better next time. So I went a lot deeper into that than I had originally intended. However, that's a really important topic, guys, because it's so integral to how you handle disappointment. And there's always disappointment in life, and there's disappointment in home investing. And if you let the disappointment make you discouraged, what's going to happen? You're going to quit. You're going to quit and go try to do something else that's not as lucrative as the Pretty House creative financing business. So I like to talk about things. It's International Joke Day today. And it's also American Zoo Day, so maybe you can go to a zoo and tell a joke. It's Canada Day, and it's postal workers. We love Canadians, eh? Because I grew up in Minnesota, played hockey, I was an honorary Canadian. Gettysburg happened in 1863. So since it's International Joke Day, how do I get away without telling a joke? So this family decides to go to this new zoo. Okay, so they go to the zoo, but the zoo only has one animal, a dog. It's a Shih Tzu. Okay, that's one of my favorite jokes I've ever told. Maybe because we've owned 5 Shih Tzus in our life, but that's pretty funny. You gotta admit, that's a pretty good one. All right, guys, so let's do our deep breathing while we're smiling. Deep breath in. Hold it a second, and yes, I got this shirt at the Game 5 when we beat the Lakers. So this is recent Suns merchandise. Another deep breath in. Hold a little bit in. Big smile. Yeah, and that's the Suns back there celebrating their victory, obviously. Okay, deep breath in. We're in the finals. Deep breath in. Big smile. And let it go, okay? So have a great Thursday, guys. And what is it today? It's July 1. So whenever we hit the first of a month, it's always a fresh start. We're about a third of the way through summer, so let's really focus on getting appointments. I always talk about Thursday as Setup Thursday. This is a time where you should absolutely have a regular calling time set for Thursday evening, somewhere between 5 and 8. And always do those calls because you're setting up appointments for this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, to go out there and buy a house. So keep it rolling, guys. Remember what I said today about disappointments. Very important to approach it the right way mentally. Keep yourself on the right track. So now at Thursdays, obviously we got Thursdays live at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, a little bit later today. So we're always out in the field looking at a property, and I think we're going to look at a house that we're actually going to be putting on Zillow and putting out there this weekend. So I think we're just getting this house ready, and I think the plan is to put it out there this weekend. So maybe Lynette will go by and we'll see what we have to do to get that house the final touches. And you guys can help us look through it and say, well, you should do this, and staging and stuff. So we'll see where the house is at. Hopefully it's ready, because we're planning on doing a big deal this weekend. So until we see it on Thursdays live, keep expecting success, getting awesome training, and the right mental programming like we did today. And as always, take action.